Part 22. Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 215. When he saw the visitor through surveillance, Sheneng almost lost his soul. Although only 4 people came over. But one of them, the figure wearing the Hokage's robe. It is as if he is the legendary current strongest man in the ninja world, the 5th Hokage Hyuga. Not just Chen Nong. In the entire main control room, the ninjas of Kong Ninja Village were in a panic. The other party didn't know what means they used, but they directly found their hometown. And the other party's boss came in person. How should they stop these empty ninjas? When his thoughts were like a ball of mush, Shen Nong suddenly had an idea, as if he had grasped a life-saving straw. The intruders stop immediately. Hyuga Nariku's side, there was a sudden sound coming from all directions. Oh! Hyuga Nariku looked around with interest and found that the sound was coming from an electronic device. It seems that the 15 guys in the Sara Ninja Village are still very good at absorbing and utilizing the technology of the ninja world. The technology tree of the ninja world is very deformed. Orochimaru is doing research and even has computers. But the daily information transmission between ninjas is still done through ninjas, such as through psychic beasts. There are even trains in places, but ninjas still mostly run on their feet when traveling. In the main control room, Sheneng took a deep breath and forced himself to calm down. Intruder, my plug main gun has been pointed in the direction of Konoha Ninja Village. If you take one step forward, we will fire without hesitation. Sheneng doesn't know whether such a threat will work. After all, the other party is the Hokage of Konoha, so he should have some scruples, right? Oh? Are there many ninjas from your Kong Ninja Village fighting in the skies above Konoha? Don't their lives matter? Hyuga Nariku asked back in a leisurely manner, and immediately showed a somewhat regretful expression. By the way, I forgot to tell you. When I came over, the battle over Konoha was almost over. Your subordinates should be either dead or captured by now. Speaking of which, I would also like to thank you for traveling all the way to deliver your flying ninja tool. In the bottom of Sheneng's heart, a ball of anger swelled up almost instantly. It's so heart-wrenching to kill people. They are obviously here for revenge. Why do they say it from the other person's mouth, as if they are here to give gifts? However, when I heard the words from the front after the air raid force had failed, Sheneng felt less hesitant in his heart. Anyway, those people had failed. Now it was better for them to save themselves first. I won't repeat it again, you retreat immediately, otherwise the fortress's main cannon will fire directly at Konoha. I think that as the Hokage of Konoha, you won't just sit back and watch Konoha be destroyed, right? However, after saying this, Shen Nong did not see any scruples on Hinata Nariku's face. Even the expressions of the 3 ninjas beside him did not change. Why do people keep trying to threaten me with chakra cannons? Hyuga Nariku pointed at Sheneng in the main control room, and said to the 3 Kakashi with a smile. This is the case with Kumogakure, and it is also the case with Kong Ninja Village now. Anyway, in that case, let you give up. As he said that, Hinata Nariku clasped his hands together, and the chakra aura all over his body surged. Buzz. 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 One after another, the black jade of Seeking the Way appeared in front of him. In an instant, the 9 jade of Seeking the Way had formed a round shape. It floated in front of him, and then its shape changed rapidly, connecting with each other to form a dark curtain. Immediately, the curtain flew up and flew towards the muzzle of the main gun of Ankelbindian's fortress. What's the meaning? Sheneng didn't know why. Does the other party plan to use this strange black curtain to block their fortress main cannon? What a joke. It's more powerful than the tailed beast jade. How could a ninja be able to block the powerful main gun of the fortress? However, through surveillance, Sheneng saw that Hyuga Nariku's demeanor was extremely leisurely, and he didn't seem to be worried about Konoha at the target of the gun. There are 9 Tao seeking jade in total, which is enough to give you face, but I don't know if your chakra cannon is powerful enough. Seeking Dou. Sheneng heard what the other party said, but he became more and more confused in his heart. What kind of ninjutsu is seeking Dou? Forget it, never mind. No matter what ninjutsu it is, can a curtain composed of 9 black balls stop them? Isn't the chakra cannon of Kong Ninja Village effective? Since you don't care about Konoha, don't blame me for dying with you. Shen Nong gritted his teeth, with hatred rising in his heart. Since the threat failed, Konoha will be destroyed directly. After that, even if he is killed by the other party, he must make the other party pay the price. Fire! Sheneng roared with a ferocious expression. Buzz, 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 the chakra transmission caused a huge movement, and a terrifying power was brewing on the air fortress. A moment later, the position of the fortress's main gun issued a blazing white light almost illuminated the entire world. The huge chakra turned into the energy source 820 of the fortress's main gun, pouring out crazily. However, the seeking jade curtain blocking the muzzle remained motionless as if he wasn't hit at all. How can this be? Shen Nong could hardly believe his eyes. If the energy of the fortress's main gun hadn't been blocked, he would have almost thought that the black curtain in front was an illusion. But how is this possible? What kind of move is this? Is this the only kind of power? It's far worse than Yunyin's time. Hyuga Nariku is indeed a little disappointed. Using 9 Taoist jade at one time is completely overkill. Come to think of it, Kong Ninja Village is just a small ninja village after all. When it comes to talent reserves, technical strength, or funds, it can't compare with Yunyan Village is supported by the Kingdom of Thunder. It is rare enough to be able to develop such a powerful aerial fortress and fortress main gun. After that, let the people in the scientific ninja tool class figure out the principle of this fortress main gun, and then add it to our chakra cannon. Let's continue. If nothing else happens, the other party should have 2 little surprises waiting for us. With that said, Hinatan Nariku took Kakashi and the other 3 and continued walking towards the depths of the fortress. Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 216. Sara ninjas kept coming out and trying to intercept them in various ways. However, in front of Hyuga Nariku, Kakashi, Metkai, and Yamato, there is no one enemy at all. Every time someone showed up, they were quickly dealt with, and then restrained by Hyuga Nariku or Yamato using wood escape. Basically no killing. After all, these prisoners of Kong Ninja will be free labor from now on. It would be a pity to kill him directly. There seemed to be a huge chakra reaction in front of him. Yamato closed his eyes and felt it for a moment. Moreover, this chakra gave him a very bad feeling. It was like it was filled with all the dirty and evil things in the world. Nariku, is it one of the 2 surprises you just mentioned? Kakashi asked as if he was guessing. That's right. Hyuga Nariku said as he walked. The Kong Ninja Village has mastered a monster named Zero Tail. According to legend, it is a monster condensed by the dark power in people's hearts. Even if it is destroyed for a while, as long as the darkness in people's hearts does not dissipate, Zero Tail will return. Yamato asked the name Zero Tail, does it have anything to do with tailed beasts? The tailed beasts don't want to be associated with this thing. A Bagua air palm broke through the wall in front of them, and Hyuga Nariku and the others walked into the power room of the air fortress. There was only Sheneng inside. In addition, there was a huge snake-like monster. The whole body was purple, it has a sticky smooth feeling. The head is a white mask with the word zero on it. How should I say? This Zero Tail looks quite unique. Metkai opened his mouth and endured. He kept complaining, so ugly. No wonder the tailed beasts don't want to be associated with this kind of guy. Although the tailed beasts look random, they are basically normal. But what is this thing in front of me? It feels like a purple striped big loach. Kakashi and Yamato also nodded in agreement. Stupid Konoha ninja. Shen'eng said with a disdainful expression. Only when he came here did he finally feel relieved. You actually followed me here directly. In this case, let's become Zero Tail's nourishment. With Shen'eng's voice, Zero Tail in the power room seemed to wake up. The eyes on the white mask opened, revealing the meaning of greed. The taste of chakra seemed to be delicious to the people in front of them. Zero Tail purple smooth tentacles grew out of his body, heading towards Hinata Nariku and the others. Do not touch me. Such a disgusting thing. Hyuga Nariku's repulsive force directly scattered the approaching tentacles. What happened? It seems that ninjutsu is no longer available here. Kakashi and Yamato originally wanted to use ninjutsu to resist, but they found that the power of their ninjutsu was greatly reduced, almost negligible. The high fireball jutsu became the small flame jutsu, and the wood escape technique became undeterrable. The little sapling was full of strength. On the other hand, Metkai just used his own physical skills to dodge and didn't feel anything was wrong. What a pity. If you use ninjutsu here with Zero Tails, your chakra will be absorbed by Zero Tails and turned into nutrients for Zero Tails' growth. Shen'eng chuckled, and was no longer as panicked as before. Zero Tail also branched out more tentacles, attacking Hinata Nariku and the others. Yamato was accidentally touched by the tentacles, and part of them was sucked away. Chakra? You want to absorb chakra, right? The corners of Hyuga Nariku's mouth raised slightly, and a ball of green chakra appeared on the palm of his hand. I just don't know if you can bear it. The chakra on the palm dissipated quickly, and one of Zero Tail's tentacles suddenly froze, making a clicking sound, and slowly turned into stone. What's this? Shen Nong was shocked and confused when he saw this. Petrification, was that magic chakra just now? Kakashi was the first to react. Zero Tail absorbed the Senjutsu chakra, but was unable to control the natural energy in the Senjutsu chakra, so he became petrified. Thinking of this, Kakashi also followed suit and deliberately allowed himself to be Zero Tail's tentacles touched and released a small amount of Senjutsu chakra at the same time. He also recently practiced Senjutsu at MT Miyaboku. After losing the Sharingan, the huge amount of chakra that was previously restricted by the Sharingan was directly his back, and he now has even the chakra required to practice Senjutsu. In order to persuade Obito, who has gone astray, Kakashi has been working hard to improve his strength recently. Hateful. What's going on? Seeing that another tentacle of Zero Tails was petrified, Shen Nong roared in confusion. How did they do it? It was clear that Zero Tails absorbed chakra, but actually caused harm to Zero Tails in turn. It seems that this is the only level of Zero Tail you have. Hyuga Nariku shook his head with some disappointment, raised his hand, and shot out black sticks of yin-yang dun, one after another, nailing Zero Tail's body one after another. Even Zero Tails is a monster that uses chakra. After being restrained by yin-yang dun, after the chakra, Zero Tail was like a tiger without teeth. Then he raised his hand and condensed a jade of seeking the way, and turned it into the shape of a black stick. He waved the black stick of seeking the jade and hit Zero Tail. Passed over. Tisk. Zero Tail, which was hit by the Kyodeo jade, fell apart like a wooden sculpture made of paper. Hateful. Shen Nong was horrified and backed away. He couldn't understand the opponent's methods at all. Before, Zero Tail's tentacles were inexplicably petrified, and then there was an unknown black rod that pinned Zero Tails, unable to move. No. Are you saying that you can't use ninjutsu in front of Zero Tail? What on earth is this black stick? However, compared to the subsequent blow that destroyed another part of the black stick, these are not worth mentioning, ha ha ha. Zero Tail was actually destroyed. Shen Nong could hardly believe his eyes. You know, Zero Tail is almost the core method of their Kong Ninja village. Ankelbandian was able to lift off because of Zero Tail, this power source. The main gun of the fortress is also powered by the Zero Tail. The Zero Tail can be said to be almost all their hope for revenge in the Kong Ninja village. If the Zero Tail is destroyed, Shen Nong can hardly imagine it. It seems that your Zero Tail can still be destroyed by the Kyodeo Jade. How dare you call it Zero Tail? Hyaga Naruko said disdainfully. The nine-tailed beasts were created by the Sage of Six Paths using the ten-tailed chakra and the yin-yang escape technique. Even if the tailed beast is hit by the Jade of the Way, it will be injured, but it will not be annihilated by the light of the body. And this Zero Tail, even if it may return and reappear, but so what? If it can be destroyed once with the Jade of Seeking Deo, it can be destroyed a second time. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 217. Stop. Shen Nong roared angrily, but Hyaga Naruko ignored it at all and used the Kyodeo Jade to destroy Zero Tail's body. Bastard, I told you to stop. Shennong's eyes were about to burst, and there was an unknown mark on his hand. In an instant, Shennong's somewhat old body began to swell. His muscles swelled, and in a few breaths, the previous Shennong turned into a muscular man. The swollen muscles even split the upper body. The secret technique of physical activation. Through this, Shennong can rejuvenate his old body cells and greatly enhance his strength. Damn guy! Damn Konoha! Damn Naruto! Shennong roared, and went a step further, using the forbidden technique mastered by Zero Tail's chakra, physical transformation. You damn bastards, if you dare to hinder me, then go to hell. 8-door Dungia, the first door opens, open. Boom. A wave of chakra energy spreads out with Shennong as the center. It's not over yet. 8 gates of Dungia, the second gate is closed, open. As the door of Shiu opened, Chakra 763's aura surged again on Shennong's powerful body. This guy actually mastered the 8-gate Dungia. Of all the people present, Kakashi was even more shocked than Metkai. After all, he knew that Kai had been training his body day after day for more than 10 years before he mastered the 8 gates of armor. Skill. However, Shennong, the leader of the remnants of Kong Ninja Village, actually mastered the 8-gate Dungia. Phew, what a huge power! Shennong, who had opened the 6th scene door in succession, was surrounded by green air waves. He couldn't help but stretch his body and feel this rare and huge power. With the help of Zero Tail Chakra, the secret technique of physical transformation can allow me to obtain the strongest ultimate body, and even open all 8 gates of the human body. It's just a pity that I haven't tried this trick before. I don't know if there are any hidden dangers. But since you bastards are forcing me like this, I have no choice but to go all out. Might Kai's expression was extremely solemn, Bedk, staring at the opponent closely. Kai, I leave this guy to you, Hyaga Naruko said. Perhaps I can use this guy to help you gain some understanding of the 8-gate Dungia. No problem. Mate Kai showed his big white teeth and said with a smile. Youth is not allowed to shrink from challenges. With his arms crossed in front of him, Mate Kai also opened the 8 gates of escape. Drink. Mate Kai roared, opened the 6 gates, and punched out a wave of air. However, Shennong was not weak either. He also punched out a wave of energy to offset the punch. The two of them, the bodies quickly intertwined, and for a moment, the sound of fists and feet colliding shook the entire power room. 2 figures flashed in the air at high speed, almost leaving an after-image. Towards the peacock. Mate Kai stepped back and opened a distance, punched with both arms at high speed, and the high-speed punches that caused fire, combined with the air shock wave, hit Shannon like a peacock with its tail open. Damn it, what kind of move is this? Shannon frowned, not daring to neglect, and hurriedly pumped his fists, desperately trying to block the attack. However, after all, Shannon did not have enough mastery of the 8-gate Dungia, and it was the first time he had gained such a powerful power. Even though he tried hard to block it, there were still a lot of fire punches hitting him. It hurts, damn guy, the 7th door, the shocking door, open. The body was burned by the flames. Even though the cells quickly recovered under the transformation of the body, Shannon still felt severe pain. He did not dare to neglect any more and took the lead to open the 7th door. An astonishing wave of air penetrated the entire in the power room, the wall collapsed instantly. Is this the 7th gate? What an amazing power! Yamato steadied himself in the storm, with a look of shock in his eyes. Although he had heard that the 8 gates full meeting had dozens of times more power than the 5 shadows, this was the first time he saw the 8 gates Dungia actually open. What's more, it has opened to the 7th door. Kai can only open the 7th door at most now. Kakashi's expression was a little solemn. If he hadn't been so excited to see Kai, he almost wanted to ask Hinatan Nariku to take action and kill the enemy directly. In the middle of the battlefield, Kai grinned. It was the opponent who opened the first 7 gates. This means that the opponent cannot defeat him at the 6th gate, Jingmen. If he were at the same stage, he would have a better grasp of the power of the 8 gates Dungia and understand the moves better. Facing Shannon running towards him at high speed from the opposite side, Kai took a deep breath, looked sternly, and shouted. 8 gates of Dungia, the 7th gate of Jingmen, open. Majestic chakra emerged from Kai's acupuncture points. At this time, Kai has surpassed ordinary shadow-level experts based on the amount of chakra alone. With the surge of blue air waves, Kai and Shen Nong punched from a distance, and the storm raged in the air fortress, and a large number of buildings were directly blown away and destroyed by the air waves. However, this time the fist fight was a winner. How can it be? There was a look of disbelief in Shennong's eyes. The shock wave from the opponent's punch had slowly overwhelmed him. The 8 gates of Dungia were also opened. Why was the opponent's power stronger than his? Call. Kai panted violently. Opening the 7th gate is still a big burden for him now. He can't delay it, as time will do too much damage to the body. Solve the battle as soon as possible. Kai's eyes after a moment of concentration, he charged up a punch and punched Shennon in front. This is the strongest move I have mastered now, a one-hit killing punch. Day Tiger. Accompanied by a tiger roar, the air cannon formed the shape of a tiger, and hit Shennon directly in a completely unavoidable manner. Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 218. Shennon, who was hit from the front, only had time to let out a shrill scream. The air cannon destroyed every cell in his body at high speed. Even with the repair of the secret technique of physical transformation, it could not keep up with the speed of cell destruction. What's more, at this moment, under the severe pain, Shennon had no consciousness to make any response. The raging storm was raging in all directions. We can't just destroy this air fortress. Hyuga Nariku put his hands together, and layer after layer of wooden escape walls surrounded the central battlefield, blocking the storm and protecting the buildings behind. Yamato struggled to support himself in the storm, controlling his body. As for backing up, it would be too embarrassing if the storm blew me against the wall of Mudun. At the same time, I couldn't help but want to complain. How long has it been, and you still want to protect the loot? As expected, not at all. Do you take this revenge of Kong Ninja Village to heart? For a moment, Yamato couldn't help but sympathize with Shen Nong and others. He wanted to come to Konoha for revenge, but Hinatan Nariku, the Hokage, didn't take them seriously at all, and even regarded them as send equipment to Konoha. Shennong's side. The raging air cannonballs gradually disappeared. The air gradually returned to calm. And Shennong's powerful physical body that had expanded before was no longer there at this moment, and turned back into the little old man he was before. Even more embarrassed. Why? His eyes were dull, and he could only murmur to himself like he was dreaming. Phew. Only then did Matka feel relieved, closed the 8-door dungeon, and his breath gradually calmed down. With the end of the forbidden technique, a wave of fatigue and pain spread throughout the body, making Matka even used to the pain of the 8-door dungeon. Tekai couldn't help but grinned. Suddenly, a hand pressed on his shoulder, accompanied by a gentle chakra. After this chakra entered his body, he began to recover quickly. His previous consumption and repairing the injuries caused by opening the 8 gates before this. Metkai was stunned. His current feeling was as if his previous experience of opening the 8-door dungeon was an illusion. There is nothing strange about the body at all. No, it would be better to say that my physical condition is worse than usual. He looked at Hinata Naraka blankly, held it in for a long time, and couldn't help but ask. How did you do that? If he can also master such an ability, he won't have any burden in opening the 8-gate dungeon in the future, right? It's just some simple applications of Yang escape and immortal techniques. Hinata Naraka replied, seeing the desire in Metkai's eyes, he added. Don't think about it, you can't control it. But if you get any injuries from practicing 8-door dungeon in the future, you can come to me to repair it. Even if you open the door to death, I can still save you. If you want to try to open the door of death in the future, you can come to me and talk to me in advance. Metkai was speechless for a while. It's better not to use it. It felt like his youth had suffered a major blow. All this time, Metkai had never thought about opening the door to death and still surviving. If it's really time to open the door to death, it should be a time when there are important things that need to be defended at the risk of one's life. When the time comes, it will be enough to burn your entire life and unleash the most powerful attack in your life. However, now he suddenly discovered that he seemed to be able to burn more than once. Life seemed to have become cheap. It felt a little subtle. When you compete with Kakashi in the future, you can have more freedom by opening the 8 gates, and there is no harm in opening the 7 gates directly, Hyuga Naruko said as if he was just watching the excitement and didn't mind the trouble. In an instant, there was a look of expectation in Metkai's eyes. If the 8-gate dungeon is turned on, if there are no sequelae, there is no need to be too conservative in opening 8 doors in the future, right? Do you want me to die? Kakashi has a question mark on his forehead. Is this human language? Thinking back to the previous tiger-shaped air cannon. How can he block it? Use the earth flow wall? He usually can't handle it with 4 or 5 openings. Let alone the 7 gates. Even if he may master immortal arts in the future, he may not be able to block it, right? Metkai also thought of this, and couldn't help but feel a pity. On Hinata Naraka's side, he controls the Taoist Jade General Zero Tails completely destroyed, and then walked towards Shennon. At this time, Shennon was old and embarrassed, and his chakra aura was extremely weak. This time he was really powerless to resist. No. Don't kill me. When Shen Nong saw the person coming, he couldn't help but swallow his saliva. His desire for survival surged, and he began to desperately think of anything that could save his life. Right, don't you want to know how I revived Zero Tail? Someone helped. I can provide him with information and even help you deal with him. I just hope you can let me go. Hyuga Naruko sneered, not caring at all. Is it the Sharinon wearing a mask, or the Rinnegan with black rods inserted into its body? With these two people in the Akatsuki organization, it's possible for them to control the tailed beasts, right? Anyway, the ones that can provide huge amounts of chakra are tailed beasts. Shen Nong's face suddenly became dull, and he subconsciously murmured, "It's the one wearing a mask. How do you know?" "Obito." Kakashi's expression changed drastically. It was Obito who helped this guy and asked him to take revenge on Konoha. Akatsuki Organization, Rinnegan, what is going on? What is Obito planning against Konoha? Didn't his conspiracy work? What else do you know? Kakashi asked with cold eyes. No. They found me, they asked me to take revenge on Konoha, it was the Akatsuki Organization who found me. Shen Nong chattered endlessly and looked flustered. Boring. Hyuga Naruka drew his sword directly and pointed it at Shennon. With what you have, you want to take revenge on Konoha. What do you think Konoha is? Moreover, you are still called Shennon. Are you worthy of it? My identity is a doctor, my name is Shennon, but what I do is this kind of thing. How dare you call Shennon a cat or a dog? After saying that, without giving Shennon a chance to talk nonsense, he stabbed Shennon to death with a sword. The man next to him stabbed Shennon to death. Kakashi and the other three were confused. What's wrong with the name Shennon? Is this also a reason to kill him? Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 219. The Country of Rain, Akatsuki Organization Base. There was deathly silence in the dark and damp cave. Are the casualties so serious? Nagato couldn't help but his eyelids jumped. Previously, he sent Pain's 6 paths to go out together and secretly went to the territory of the Earth Spider clan in the Land of Fire. According to Baizetsu's intelligence, he found the 6 Tails Jinchuriki who had defected and then lived in seclusion there. Yugao. The result is naturally no suspense. In order to solve the 860 decisive battle as soon as possible, Pain and the 6 paths immediately took action together after discovering Yugao. Even though Yugao is a powerful 6-tailed Jinchuriki, in this there was almost no resistance in front of the lineup, and the black rod penetrated all the limbs and became the puppet of the Rinnegan. Immediately afterwards, Nagato did not dare to delay, took Yugao and left the Land of Fire quickly. There was no way, for Akatsuki organizationally speaking, the Land of Fire can now be said to be the most dangerous place in the ninja world. I was afraid that Hyuga Naruka would suddenly appear in the next second. But fortunately, the 5th Hokage never appeared, and Nagato returned to the Land of Rain smoothly. And then got a little surprise. Jozo and Haiden were both killed in the battle. Only one Earth Escape Heart was left in Angle, and his usually green eyes were not very bright at the moment. Iwagakure village, which the 6 of you went to together, still suffered so much damage. Nagato looked puzzled. According to the mission assigned by the Akatsuki organization, Konan took his body, which was inconvenient to move, and the 6 paths of Pain to the Land of Fire to capture the 6 Tails Jinchuriki. Obito, Zetsu, Kakuzu, Haiden, Kisame Kisaki, and Jozuhagakure, 3 groups of 6 people in total, went to Iwagakure village to capture the 5-tailed Jinchuriki. It seems that although Iwagakure village is powerful, they must have suffered heavy losses after taking a chakra cannon from Kumogakure before. How could it be possible for the group of 6 Obito to pay such a high price? Did Hyuga Naruka take action again? Suddenly thinking of something, Nagato looked stern. If it was this person, this casualty would be normal. But in this case, wouldn't the 5-tailed Jinchuriki be gone too? No, there isn't. Obito's face was dark, his Sharingan turned, and a person was released from the Kamui space. It was the 5-tailed Jinchuriki Han. It's Onaki, the 3rd Hokage Kisaki Kisame on the side said with lingering fear, that old guy's dust release is really terrifying. He saw with his own eyes that Obito Susanoo, who was dozens of meters tall, was blown away by Onoki for most of his body. Even though he had long known how powerful the 3rd Hokage was, and knew the horror of the blood-stained elimination of dust release, but I was shocked when I saw it with my own eyes. After Obito's eyes were gathered together, his strength skyrocketed. It can be said that he has never suffered a defeat except for Hyuga. As a result, he was caught off guard, and even half of his arm was disintegrated into dregs by Onaki's dust release. It was me who underestimated that old guy Onaki, and I was hit by the dust escape he used with all his strength without any precautions. Obito reluctantly defended himself. If he tried his best to activate Susanoo to the fourth form, Onaki's dust release might not be able to bring Susanoo to this level at that time. But that old guy Onaki also, it is indeed difficult to deal with. Even though he had the power of his left eye and mastered the long-range attack ability of 3.5, he was still defeated by Onaki. Onaki, who has the ability to fly, became wary after he failed to use his power remotely for the first time. Flying around, making it impossible for his divine power to aim. There was nothing he could do with Onoki, so Obito simply attacked the Iwagakure village indiscriminately. As a result, Onoki became furious. He still hit the ground with the dust release original realm peeling technique. My back is getting cold. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 220. How did Jozu and Haiden die? Nagato looked at Kakuzu, who had only one heart left, and said after a moment of silence. This fight would never have ended like this, right? It was just a village of Iwagakure, but the Akatsuki organization directly lost 2 people. It even almost came close, even the horns are gone. It should have been Obito who took action directly and quietly took away the 5 tails Jinchuriki. But he was discovered by Iwagakure somehow. Maybe there is some barrier that can detect the fluctuation of time and space ninjutsu. Anyway, the Third Hokage arrived immediately. Kakagaki Kisame said helplessly. 14. Obito's invincible Kamui actually went awry this time. He just passed through a barrier and was actually detected by Iwagakure. What everyone in the Akatsuki organization didn't know was that Iwagakure, this barrier that can sense time and space ninjutsu, was specially developed after the Third Ninja War. During the Third War, the Third Hokage, who was disgusted by Namikaze Minato's Flying Thunder God Jutsu, specially created this, for the only thing is to prevent Namikaze Minato from using the Flying Thunder God to attack. Unexpectedly, Namikaze Minato died soon after the Nine Tails Rebellion. Instead, this barrier was used on Obito, a disciple of Minato. It can only be said to be a blessing. Fooling people. After that, Obito went to stop the Third Hokage, and 2 teams from Kakuzu and I went to capture the 5 tails. It should have gone smoothly. Kakagaki Kisame's expression was a bit ugly. To be fair, although the opponent was a Jinchuriki, it was not enough to look at in front of 2 groups of 4 people from the Akatsuki organization. But a flying yellow hair suddenly popped out from Iwagakure and was thrown everywhere. Bombs. There are all kinds of bombs, including birds falling from the sky, centipedes bursting out of the ground, and even bomb clones. Loquat Jozo was caught off guard and was killed on the spot by a bomb that came out of the ground. Kakuzu and Tobidan could not help but rely on his life to dodge the yellow hair flying in the sky, barely holding him back. As a result, Kakuzu now only had 1 heart left. Haiden was also injured all over his body by the explosion. If it had been anyone else, he would have died a long time ago. On the other side, Inakasaki Kisame tried his best to attack with all his strength, and captured the 5-tailed Jinchuriki as quickly as possible. Then why is Haiden still dead? Nagato frowned slightly. Loquat Jozo was unlucky enough to be killed on the spot. Wasn't Haiden not killed by the explosion? Why couldn't he come back? Zetsu on the side spoke. I saw that Kisame defeated the 5 tails Jinchuriki, so I went to notify Obito to come back and evacuate quickly. Originally, He planned to use Obito's pupil technique to lead everyone away, but the flying distance was too far at that time, and Oniki caught up with him. At that time, Haiden was injured all over his body, and even if he was not dead, he had little ability to move. And the Third Hokage saw his Jinchuriki being taken away, and the other party was planning to run away, so the dust release attacked him without restraint. Even if Haiden had an immortal body, it was useless. He was directly broken down into atoms by dust release. Not even 960 left behind. Nagato was silent for a long time. Looking around, counting him and Konan, the Akatsuki organization, Obito and Zetsu, Kakuzu and Kisame, there were only 6 people. Not long ago, there were quite a lot of people in the Akatsuki organization. Why the hell did it suddenly become like this? Even before the Ten Tails is resurrected, the Akatsuki organization is almost empty. The yellow-haired kid who used bombs is called Deidara. He is a disciple of the Third Hokage. However, he has always acted recklessly. He might have developed into one of our members. There was some inexplicable meaning in Ju's voice. Before they had time to develop new people, one of their own was killed. Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 221. Don't worry about so much now, let's seal the tailed beast first, so as to save you a long night and many dreams. Nagato rubbed his forehead and said. If we follow the original plan, we can slowly develop new members and slowly plot the tailed beasts. There is no need for that now. The main thing is to collect the chakra of all the tailed beasts as soon as possible. Cheer up and work hard. Nagato looked at everyone in the Akatsuki organization who had gloomy expressions on their faces, and reluctantly encouraged him. This time, he will seal the 5-tailed beasts, the 6-tailed beasts, and the 7-tailed beasts at once. He will also add the 8-tailed Jinchuriki and the dirty earth gold. The little remaining chakra on Kakugakure's body. So many were sealed at once, but the manpower of the Akatsuki organization was greatly reduced. It's simply not too miserable. Kakuzu was about to curse at this time. He was the only one left after Iwagakure was bombed. He had acquired an earth escape heart, and now his strength has been greatly reduced, only to the level of an ordinary elite jounin. The amount of chakra is far less abundant than the 5 hearts before. Now he actually has to seal 3 complete tailed beasts at once. It's so exhausting. Damn it, why did he get on a pirate ship like the Akatsuki organization in the first place? The remaining 6 people in the Akatsuki organization, including Zetsu, couldn't help but sigh in their hearts, and managed to force up the seal. Tailed beast. Next, everyone in the Akatsuki organization spent the longest half-month. During such a long period of time, they only took 2 short breaks. The rest of the time was spent without sleep, relying on Bing Liangguan to recover. Carrot. Then the 5 tails, 6 tails, and 7 tails were sealed together. Everyone should take a rest. The chakra on the remaining ninjas will be much easier. Nagato couldn't help but let out a sigh. Even with the huge amount of chakra from his Uzumaki clan bloodline, he was still very tired. On the side, Obito, who was sitting on the finger of the heretic demon statue, said quietly. Don't waste the corpses of these Jinchuriki, they can be made into a more powerful pain 6 paths. Although the tailed beasts were separated, several Jinchuriki still have the participating tailed beast chakras in their bodies. Moreover, being able to become Jinchuriki itself shows the talent and strength of these ninjas. If it is made into pain 6 paths, if it will definitely be stronger than those made from the corpses of the ordinary ninjas now. Nagato thought for a moment and nodded. Seeing this, Obito narrowed his eyes and smiled secretly in his heart. He had secretly set a control seal in the body of the 5-tailed Jinchuriki. This curse seal was recorded in the information left by Uchiha Madara, and can be used to control a person's actions. If Nagato will, if the Taijin Huriki Han is made into the 6 paths of pain, he can then control the Han through the curse seal and attack Nagato. There is no way. The current situation is too dangerous. No matter how reluctant Obito is, he has to admit that Hinata Nariku is too strong. He must increase his chances of winning as much as possible. But the reincarnation eye still couldn't exert its full power in Nagato's hands. When the time comes, we still have to resurrect Uchiha Madara. Just as Obito was thinking about his next plan, a Baiju clone burst in with a roar. Obito, the Shenang of Kong Ninja Village you came into contact with before, they are finished. They did not add any burden to Konoha at all. Gan, no Aao, was killed easily. Baizetsu shouted, little he shouted. Obito didn't take it seriously. I didn't have much expectations for them at first, I just used them to find something for Hinata Nariku so that he wouldn't have time to come to us. Suddenly, another white Jew came over and asked. No, the hidden grass village, no, the country of grass is gone. The 5th Hokage personally came to Kusagakure village and forced Kusagakure village to surrender, allowing Konoha ninjas to take over Kusagakure village and the country of grass. Kumogakure forced me, and the 3rd Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 222. How can it be? Obito's expression changed drastically. Didn't Hinata Nariku say that he was busy with other things and had no time to take care of them? Why did he suddenly take action against Kusagakure village? How is the situation in Kayan village now? Didn't you go to get rid of that ghost city Lord Wu Wei before? Where is the bliss box in their Kusakure village? Nagato asked with a frown. In order to open this box of bliss, a lot of the Four Tails chakra was consumed. Kusagakure village must be able to cause some trouble for Konoha, right? There should be no more hidden grass village and country of grass in the future, the clone of Baiju said. I didn't dare to get too close to see, but that guy Hinata Nariku could actually find me lurking underground. Logically speaking, when he activates the Mayfly technique, he is almost completely integrated with the surrounding natural environment, and even the Byakugan of the Hyuga clan cannot detect it. 730 I only saw the fighting from a distance for a brief moment, but it could not have resulted in anything else. The White Zetsu clone said nonchalantly. Hearing this, everyone in the Akatsuki organization was silent. Hyuga Nariku, currently recognized as the strongest man in the ninja world, took action, and his opponent was just a mere Kusakure village. Even Kusakure village there are some legendary 6-path ninja tools, but so what? As powerful as Cloud Hidden village, isn't it still beaten to a pulp? What do we do next? Conan looked a little confused and looked at Nagato. Nagato's expression was solemn. He took a long breath and said, we have now gathered the chakra of all the tailed beasts. As long as we can revive the heretic demons initially, we will be able to fight, even the long one with the Samsara eye door, still no confidence. Faced with Hyuga Nariku's exaggerated achievements, he could only rely on the mythical and legendary Ten Tails to boost his morale. At this moment, another white Jew broke in. Unfortunately, the Third Hokage came to the door with a large number of Iwagakure ninjas. This white Jew is wandering several kilometers outside Yuyan village, monitoring the enemy's situation. Once a powerful figure of the 5 shadows level approaches Yuyan village, White Jew will come back immediately to report. It seems that the old guy Onaki guessed that our headquarters is here and came to take back the 5 Tails Jinhuriki. Obito said with a sneer. The Akatsuki organization usually appears in the ninja world as a hired ninja organization. And Iwagakure is a big customer of the Akatsuki organization. For Iwagakure village, where there is a gap in top talents, their regular ninja combat power is no less than that of any other ninja village, but the combat power of the 5 Kage level 1 is extremely lacking. The Akatsuki organization, which is all elite, can make up for this shortcoming of Iwagakure village. Bij, if it's just Iwagakure, there's no need to worry. Nagato's expression changed slightly, but he didn't care much. In the current ninja world, the only one he can fear is Hyuga. As for the third Hokage Onoki, the blood-stained elimination of dust release is really powerful, but his the Rinnegan can also handle it. Looking at the three Jinchuriki corpses on the ground, Nagato pondered for a moment and ordered. You go out to intercept Iwagakure's ninjas for the time being, and I will go over after sealing all the chakra. Next, all he needs to do is continue to seal the chakras of the eight-tailed Jinchuriki, the former eight tails Jinchuriki, and the golden horn and silver horn of the evil earth. He can easily complete the sealing alone with just the remaining chakra of the evil earth ninja. Kisame Kisaki couldn't help but he twisted his neck and complained. No matter how much chakra I have, I can't sustain such continuous consumption. Kakuzu also said in a loud voice, I need to replenish my heart first. Before that, I will not participate in the battle. He only has one heart left. If he dies again this time, he will really die. I just grabbed a few jonin to replenish your heart, just leave it to me. Obito said with a relaxed expression. With the pupil technique of Kamui, even the elite jounin will be killed by him in a sneak attack when caught off guard. After the arrangement was completed, everyone in the Akatsuki organization began to take action. Nagato continued to seal the tailed beast chakra. Obito, Tsuki, Kisame, Kakuzu, and Konan went to stop Iwagakure. Zetsu, on the other hand, went to prepare for Tsuki's reincarnation. Create an extra clone and take this opportunity to summon Madara-sama. Black Zetsu said to White Zetsu in a hoarse voice. It's time for Uchiha Madara to return to the ninja world. Although there is a variable like Hyuga, fortunately the Eye of the Moon plan can still be implemented. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 223. Time goes back to before. Just when Akatsuki organized everyone to seal the tailed beast. There is an island on the sea outside Kaien village. Above is a public prison in the ninja world, Ghost Light City. Generally, criminals who have committed crimes involving ninja villages in multiple countries will be locked up here. However, the biggest secret about Ghost Lantern City is that the secret treasure of Kaien village is buried beneath it. According to legend, thousands of years ago, Kusakure village almost conquered the ninja world with this secret treasure. The ninja tool of the Sage of Six Paths, the secret treasure that can grant all wishes, the Box of Bliss. In the underground secret room of Ghost Lantern City. A huge cubic box with a terrifying giant face on each side. In front of the huge box, 4 people wearing animal hoods exuded incomparable fanaticism in their voices. The renaissance of our Kaien village will finally be realized in our hands. That ridiculous Akatsuki organization, they have no idea how powerful the Box of Bliss is. However, thanks to them, if they hadn't been bold enough to capture the 4-tailed Jinchuriki, we wouldn't have been able to open the Box of Bliss so quickly. After we conquer the ninja world, if they understand the current affairs, they will naturally not treat them badly. The 4 people were wearing cow, sheep, monkey, and dog headbands respectively. These 4 people are the 4 elders who hold the power of Kaien village. As expected, the Box of Bliss will be opened today. Behind the 4 of them was a slender man. It was Wuivai, the lord of Ghost Lantern City. Compared with several other Kaien village elders, Wuivai was more sincerely grateful to the Akatsuki organization. If it hadn't been for the Akatsuki organization providing the 4 tails chakra, he might have sacrificed his son Muzan to the Box of Bliss before. Now, there is no need to sacrifice his son, the Box of Bliss can be opened, and the revitalization plan of Kaien village can be completed. It can't be too perfect. Suddenly, a sudden change occurred. In the empty secret room underground, an illusory passage appeared out of thin air. A voice came from inside. Is this the so-called bliss box? It's really pretty ugly. Hyaga Naraku directly opened the space channel and crossed over. Seeing the box of bliss, he looked at it and shook his head in disappointment. From the perspective of chakra level, this box of bliss is indeed composed of 6 paths level chakra. It can basically be confirmed that it was written by the sage of 6 paths. However, that's all. The amount of chakra contained in this box of bliss is Baiun. The few hidden 6 paths ninja tools are just more. Forget it, mosquito legs are also meat, so just accept them. Who? You guy. Are you the 5th Hokage of Konoha? Someone saw the words on the back of Hyaga Naraku Hokage's robe, and recognized the identity of the person in front of him. How could the 5th Hokage of Konoha suddenly appear in front of them? Wuyuai's heart was beating wildly, and there was something bad in his heart. The premonition. The guy wearing the mask made an agreement with them before, and they would use the 4 tails to help them open the box of bliss, and they would be responsible for causing some trouble for Konoha. Now Konoha's Hokage actually came directly to the door. Do you recognize me? Hyaga Naraku withdrew his gaze from the box of bliss and looked at several elders of Kumogakure village wearing weird hoods, with undisguised contempt in his eyes. In this case, let's make a choice, surrender, or die. Kumogakure forced me, and the 3rd Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 224. After their brains were frozen for a moment, several elders from Kayan village became angry. What a joke. With your attitude, I think you don't take our Caoyin village seriously at all. Stupid guy, do you really think you are invincible in the ninja world? Sure enough, you are still too young and don't know enough about the ninja world. The 4 Kumogakure elders sprayed wildly at Hinatan Naraku without any scruples. If it were before, they would not have dared to do this. 983. After all, even Kumogakure was almost crippled by the opponent alone, and their Kumogakure village was even more. They should just stay down and be small. But now, the situation is completely different. After mastering the box of bliss, they already have the confidence to conquer the ninja world. Just as they were talking, the box of bliss in front suddenly started to vibrate. Dazzling white light emitted, and a terrifying power gradually increased. Bliss, the box of bliss is really about to be opened. Elder Kayan, who was wearing a monkey hood, was extremely excited. Great box of bliss, please give us Kumogakure the power to conquer the entire ninja world. The 4 Kusanagi elders shouted together. It's really noisy. Hyaga Naraku couldn't help but rub his ears. However, he did not interrupt these Kusakure elders who were obviously in a state of madness. It was just a box of bliss, and the total amount of chakra was just for him. It's just a small snack. Boom. The huge cubic box of bliss, with a terrifying giant face in front, a bloody mouth open, and the inside is deep and dark. Hatred, rage, jealousy, killing, it seems like the world in the world, all the negative things came out. Ho 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 ho. A burst of strange and shrill laughter came from inside. Whoosh. A huge black shadow flew out from inside. This monster has a spherical head, long curved fangs, long and slender torso and limbs, and something on its back. A pair of meaty wings. Ants, are you calling my mother? The black monster swooped down, and its sharp claws directly penetrated the chest of an elder Kayan. Upped, you. Elder Kusanaga's eyes were protruding, and his face was full of disbelief. He had clearly opened the secret treasure of Kayan village, and the revival of Kayan village was just around the corner. Why did it suddenly become like this? Monster. The Lord of Ghost Lantern City, Wuyuai, felt his scalp numb for a while. The so-called legend that the box of bliss can grant all wishes may not be true at all. This clearly released a monster. Ho ho ho. When the black monster heard Wuyuai's words, he didn't feel offended at all, and let out a weird smile that penetrated people. "Ants, in return for summoning me, aren't you going to conquer the ninja world? It just so happens that I will destroy this ninja world created by the Sage of Six Paths. 1,000 years ago, that damned immortal of six paths sealed him and suppressed him in the box of bliss. A whole 1,000 years. Just like this, trapped in a dark box. Now that he has come out, the immortal of six paths is no longer there. He wants to destroy this world. Who can stop him?" "I see, I probably understand." Hyuga Naruko suddenly realized after listening to this monster's words. The so-called use of the box of bliss to conquer the ninja world may actually be you, the monster, who originally tried to destroy the ninja world in 5.1, but was suppressed and sealed by the Sage of Six Paths, right? The legend left behind in Kayan village is probably the result of being gradually passed down from generation to generation. This makes sense. The descendants of Hamura at Satsuki on the moon, the main family and the branch family directly started a life and death battle because of their different understandings of Hamura's last words. Come to think of it, the container that seals the monsters will be passed down from generation to generation in Kusakure village. It makes sense that it would be a sealed container with secrets.